everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Another segment of Riding with Rick. I wish I could say this was going to be one of those light ones. I'm hopefully going to have something coming at you light, maybe a little later. But this is another one of those things where we are grappling with an epidemic, and we seem either none the wiser or totally disconnected from it. And that's this violence, whether it's intimate partner violence or fratricide or patricide in some instances. And for those who, and I don't want to talk down to anybody, for those who don't know what fratricide is, that's the killing of a brother killing brother. Patricide is the family patriarch killing one of the children. And, you know, we could talk about matricide and all the other stuff, but basically we've got a violence problem, and we are very reactionary to it. So it's like we see it and we get angry about it. But again, I've been on this theme that we need to become proactive, and I'm talking about the latest story that came across my desk. Is they've found a body in Fulton County, Georgia, which, you know, East Point is where this case happened, but they found it in Fulton County, which is basically a suburb of Atlanta, and the East Point is a suburb of Atlanta. And a little kid, 2-year-old boy, Josiah Mitchell, went missing last Wednesday. His father, Artavius North, initially filed a police report saying that the kid was kidnapped during a robbery. The police were able to disprove the kidnapping and charged him with filing a false police report, and they immediately launched and continued the search for the little boy, but knowing that the little boy hadn't been kidnapped. And now they found the body of a 2-year-old in the vicinity in some type of trash situation. I couldn't make out exactly what it was. It wasn't clear if it was a landfill or a dumpster or whatever, but unfortunately they found the body of what appears to be a 2-year-old, and all speculation is that since there are no other 2-year-olds missing in the area, that more than likely it is the body of young Josiah Mitchell, and pending official confirmation. I have talked to you about 3 murders this week, and we are talking about us killing us. And again, I have been one of the loudest champions against police brutality, even having connections and trying to create environments to work with police departments. I have not cut slack. I have been very vocal. I'm going to speak truth. I'm not going to back down for the sake of being cool. So again, my thing is, while we must hold outsiders accountable for any type of terror or reign of terror that they bring on upon the black community, we must also hold those within the black community accountable. And there's a multiple layer of accountability here. Yes, we need to hold these dudes that are doing this accountable, and in instances where it's women, hold them accountable. But that's the end result. Accountability for committing a murder doesn't bring the person who was killed back. So then what's the proactive mechanism? The proactive mechanism is to create an environment and a situation where you have fewer people who are inclined to commit these type of violent acts. There are things that you can do. This isn't some helpless, unavoidable situation. This is the lack of engagement on our part. This is thinking because we are at some level buying to the idea that we're animalistic, that we're naturally violent, that we're naturally criminal-minded and criminalistic, that when this stuff happens, it's just who we are. You even starting to hear people say, I hate black people. I hate to say it, but I hate my own people. Why? Because they've been engineered into poverty. They've been engineered into a number of different social constructs that puts them in an environment where they are more likely to behave like animals, and nobody's looking at how we can address these issues. No, what we need to talk about is the fact that naturally we are a good people. You give us half a chance, we'll be nice. But I tell you, you can break anything and make it not work right. And the problem is we're birthing children into broken situations. And the broken situation, it's impossible to expect somebody to effectively parent someone when they weren't effectively parented and they don't have the parenting skills and they're struggling with their own demons. That's statistically not going to turn out right. There's always the exception. And here's the problem with the exception. It's just that. It's an exception. It's somebody who slipped through the cracks, who wasn't impacted, or who found a way to get around the way they were impacted to do something. And then here's the flip side. They are normally used to parade in front of the rest of us to sit up and say they did it. What's wrong with you? So it can't be the situation because they got out of it. No, they are the anomaly. I say this all the time. As long as I'm the anomaly when it comes to success, when it comes to black manhood, when it comes to certain things, if there are more black men out there that don't have the access I have, that don't have the outcomes that I'm creating, and that are struggling in areas I'm not struggling in, that they should be able to flourish in, then I can't consider myself successful. I can't consider myself having done my job, because this should be an expected outcome, that you can stand up, you can be pro-social in your community, that you can be a positive impact in your community, that black women can feel safe around you, that black women will literally gravitate towards you, not because they're sexually attracted to you, but because your energy and your demeanor and the way you carry yourself invites them into a space where for at least a short period of time they're safe. Now, this has to happen on the front end, and I told you this. This has to happen on the front end. This cannot be a situation where you're sitting up and thinking you're going to come in and you're going to call a bunch of people evil and dark and bad and horrible and trash and useless and all the things we love to spew out at black men when they do horrible things like this. And they are doing horrible things, and they are horrible for doing those things. But they were once young black boys with nothing but opportunity in front of them, and it was snatched away either in one big gulf by some major traumatic event, or very slowly with the life seeping out of them because there was nowhere for them to turn to get the information, the direction, and the support they needed to become what they were supposed to become. And no matter which one it is, it's on us. You know, I talk all day long about black man need. I write about it. I write about multi-generational trauma. I write about African-American adolescent and young adult male violence. I write about adverse childhood experiences and other epigenetic influences on behavior and health outcomes. I write about the disintegration of the black family nucleus. I've written 26 freaking books. I've written over 2,000 scholarly articles. I've written over 30,000 prose articles over the course of my life. I have given my heart to this stuff, and I share it with you because it's a solution sitting right in front of you. We would rather sit up and complain. We would rather sit up and point fingers and say how horrible the system is. Yes, the system is horrible, but the system isn't broken. The system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And if the system is designed not to serve you, you've got to build a system to serve yourself. It's real simple. Nobody's going to give you the blueprint to beat them. So that means you have to go out and you have to develop the blueprint yourself. You have to come up with a reasonable strategy. You have to put it in place. You have to come together. You have to bring minds together. That's why think tanks are so important. We can't take our two little think tanks, and there may be another one that's popped up that I'm unaware of, but we can't take our two little think tanks against their 1,300 and think we got it all figured out. They have a think tank for every possible scenario that we can face that can work in their benefit, and they come up with ideas and strategies and instance. They know how to trigger us, when to trigger us, what to do to distract us, what to do in our communities to put us in situations where we are not effective, how to disrupt homes, how to increase prison populations, how to increase recidivism rates. All these different things are being studied, and then they use what they learn in these studies to sit up and manipulate, control, mismanage, mishandle, and misdirect us. And we fall for the okie-doke every time. And then when one of us stands up and says, man, I got this information I want to share, and I'm going out there, and then people will sit up and say, well, you're not going to get any followers, you're not going to get enough scratch. What's your gimmick? What's your angle? What you going to use? I got a winning plan. Why do I got to entertain you to save you? Why do I got to entertain you to help you? Why I got to entertain you to give you the keys to a future for your family? Why are we so programmed to be? You need to sensationalize it for me to get it. And to the person, people admit, man, that's solid, Dr. Wallace. You're on point, man. But when it comes time to getting on board, when it comes time to really truly getting behind, we want to go get entertained. We want to laugh. We want to dance. Nothing wrong with laughing, nothing wrong with dancing. They both have very powerful healing elements. But they're not going to solve the problems we're facing with black men killing one another, black men killing their spouses, black men killing their children, black women reducing themselves to less than what they are capable of being for $1. All of this stuff going on social media, all this stuff going on in the communities, and we're looking at it, and all it's doing is distracting us from who we really could be and getting us excited about being nothing really but someone that people looks at. If it cannot feed your third and fourth generation removed, it's not something you need to be excited about. It's something you need to be looking and saying, what can I do to project the impact of my love beyond what I can see? What are you talking about, Doctor? I'm saying what I'm doing has to be something that my great-grandchildren's grandchildren are going to be able to benefit from, or I'm not getting it done. And that's financially, that is socially, that is being a contributor to solidifying and fortifying the family structure. That's the responsibilities we're missing, and it's on us. I could talk about this on and on and on, and it burns me up that we sit up day by day and look at it, keep right on moving like it ain't nothing. Is, hey, until it hits your doorstep, and then it's, man, can you do this? Man, can you do this? Is it anyway? It's on your doorstep now. Well, if we would be dealing with it, we could literally be collectively dealing with it, and nobody would be caught up in a situation where they feel alone and something's happening to them and they don't have anything they can do about it. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I got some things I need to do, but I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. But what I am going to do is ask you, if you like what you're hearing, if you're blessed by what you're hearing, if you're inspired, you're informed by what you're hearing, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe. And if you believe in what we're doing with Black Man Lead, with the Research Center at Odyssey Project, with the think tank at Odyssey Project, with Black Man Lead, with the programs for women, with the programs for men, if you believe in all this stuff and you believe in the things that I have that I can present, that I want to connect with other people to get done, look in that description box. Hit that support, click that link, support, give through our CashApp account, whatever. We've got stuff to do. We can't sit around. If we don't get these boys before they get turned, it's a whole lot harder to get what we need to get out of them and make them productive and pro-social. So on that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your day.